Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins Gate 0. In the last episode, Mayuri had overheard the conversation between Maho and Rintaro concerning herself and Kurisu Makase. Overcome by grief and despair at the possibility that her own existence might be responsible for the death of Kurisu Makase, in some small part, Mayuri went straight to Suzuha Mane on the roof of the radio building, and it was there that she finally confessed her feelings for both Rintaro Okabe and the insane mad scientist born from his imagination, Hoin Kiyoma. But then, of all things, Suzuha received a strange video file from the future, surprisingly enough. But now we're back with Rintaro, who is desperately trying to find the once hostage of Hoin Kiyoma. I stuck my hand against the wall of the raunchy workshop to catch my breath. After all, it was for Mayuri that Rintaro Okabe sacrificed the wishes and emails of Varus, Suzuha, and Ruka, and others besides. And it was for that reason that he ultimately had accepted the fate of Kurisu Makase when he returned to the Beta World line, after deleting the D-mail that he had initially sent, unwittingly to the phone wave TBA. There was no sign of Mayuri, and of course on the Alpha World line, Rintaro had hoped to keep the truth of her many deaths from her in order to protect her innocence and sanity. Unfortunately, Worldline Convergence said otherwise, and as a result, all those deaths manifested in the forms of nightmarish dreams in the subconscious mind of Mayuri as she slept at night. And now the same thing is effectively happening here on the Beta World line. All of Rintaro's hopes of protecting Mayuri from the cruelty of the world lines is unraveling before his very fingers. I'd gone to Meikun Yan Yan, and to any shop I could imagine her visiting, and had no luck whatsoever. It seems like Maho is eager to help Rintaro find her. Maho came back. She was out of breath too. Doesn't seem like it. The panic was threatening to make me lose control. Where did you go, Mayuri? Well, your panic is going to become even worse when you narrow down all the places that you could possibly be. You're not going to like the answer. I'd asked Daru to stay behind and call all her friends and people she knew, but I don't think Fubuki and Kaede know either. But it seems like Daru has one more thing that he's been keeping from Rintaro. Huh. It seems like Mayuri is, that would seem to be the case. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Is there some sort of, strange power outage going on? Well, either there's a fault line in the network, Oh, and I have a very bad feeling about this hunch. There's a communications blackout going on.
なんだって
I took out my own phone.
俺のも圏外だ
Yeah, it's not like the cell phone services just turn themselves off overnight.
私もだ
Something's wrong. Something is incredibly wrong. The lab had never suffered from bad signal before. And it's not just the lab, Rintaro. We went up to the roof and even tried holding our phones up to the sky, but... It seems like someone doesn't want anyone to communicate via cell phones. The result was the same.
屋上でもダメだ
In other words, somebody is jamming cell
外に
phone
出ても繋がらない
signals.
わ
Daru looked for news on the internet. Thankfully, the internet connection was still active.
お速報出た
There was an article on the top page of Taboo talking about a large-scale cell phone service outage.
えそうかなんぞこれ
But it seems like there's something odd about
秋葉原
it.
一帯の基地局が全キャリア故障
Yeah, I can't imagine chalking that up to a power outage. Because, yeah, it just seems too convenient for my liking.
全キャリアってそんなことありえるの
It isn't a technical malfunction. It's something far worse. It didn't seem possible to me. Not under normal circumstances anyway. But this is similar to something we've experienced before. The events of a year ago in the Alpha World line flashed through my mind. That night, when Mayuri was mercilessly killed and all the safety I believed in was stripped away. That night, when the pain all began, had started with a bomb threat in Akiba station that had shut down the train system. That would be my bet on this one. Something terrible was about to engulf Akihabara. That was the feeling I had. Take that intuition, Rintaro Okabe, and run with it. I tried my best to fight off the flashback. Now wasn't a time to be scared. I needed to find Mayuri, fast. I couldn't leave her alone out there. I gritted my teeth to fight off all the trauma I was carrying and raised my head.
ダルネットは生きてるんだよな
So they haven't cut off internet
う
communication.
んだから LINE 経由でルカシやアマネシとは連絡取り合ってる
And apparently you can still communicate on Rhine. Okay, then they should be willing to help look for Mayuri.
俺ももう一度辺りを探してくる
Probably not a good idea.
実はもう一つ気になることが
Seems like there's something else going on
電波
as
障害
well.
のことをアットちゃんで調べようとしたらさ現在進行形でお買い手がクラックされてて
Looks like something's broken into the occult board of our channel of all things.
そのクラッキングしてるやつがさほら
Before we see who is doing the cracking, we shall look at the tips. Cracking. A term used to describe actions such as illegally accessing network-linked computers or modifying their data. Often confused with hacking, but never truly differentiated between the two. surprisingly. But originally, hacking was described as using and investigating a piece of software, often to actually help improve security of software and things like that. Cracking, however, refers to a malicious, unauthorized activity. Most times when the term hacking is used by the media, this is actually what they mean, even though they themselves often fail to differentiate between hacking and cracking, like so many other people on the internet, and outside of it as well. But who is doing this? Daru brought up the @channel page on his screen for me to see. I wonder why it could possibly matter, but decided to take a look anyway. Attention Salieri's neighbor. Oh dear. That's not good. It can't be. Please do not tell me that the one doing this is none other than Kurigohan Chestnut Rice Kamehameha, and Kamehameha, Salieri's neighbor. That was the nickname I'd used to make contact with Kurigohan, aka Chestnut Rice and Kamehameha. I decided to leave the explanation for later and clicked on the thread. Well, given Maho's reaction, we can definitely say that she wasn't the one posting under Kurisu's Makase's @channel pseudonym, which meant that there was only one possibility. I decided to leave the explanation for later and clicked on the thread. It was all comments by a single person. Comments or a message? It's all gobbledygook, but it's all under Kurigohan and Kamehameha. Oh, and I didn't want to do that.
Kurigohan to Kamehameha?
Yeah. The first comment had gone up an hour ago. After that, it was just an endless string of meaningless numbers and letters. Maho was looking at the screen from the side and evidently sensed that something was amiss from the text. I answered her.
Amadeus da. Amadeus no Kurisu nandayo.
Yeah, we knew that much. But I didn't actually read the first lines of text that were up on there, and I apologize for that. I honestly don't think that it's going to let us read the screen again. But Rintaro's hunch is correct. The poster is none other than Amadeus Kurisu. Apparently she's left a message of some kind. She was trying to contact me with it. I wish I could go back and see it again, but yeah.
Tsuka, なんでアマデウスがタイムマシンの情報を知ってんの？オカリン喋ったん？
No, but in the end that doesn't matter, because Amadeus Kurisu has Kurisu Makase's memories, and especially knowledge of the time travel theory that Kurisu had originally written. But that should be hidden away by the black box system that Maho had designed. Did I? I didn't think I told her when I was a tester, but There was no time to think about that now.
ピエジョさん、アマデウスにアクセスできるか？
規則違反になるけど、そんなこと言ってる場合じゃなさそうね。
Now is not the time to stand on protocol, Maho Hyajo.
橋田さん、その PC 借りていい？
Let's see if we can access Amadeus from here. Maho took Daru's seat and used his PC to access the Brain Science Institute's computers. She put in her ID, Salieri, and her password. She pushed the enter key, but Amadeus didn't appear.
いつもと違うわ。どういうこと？
It seems like someone is putting their operation into motion. Confused, she typed a series of commands into the PC with a speed that rivaled Daru's. I wonder if it rivals Morika's as well. But no matter what she did, the Amadeus program didn't appear on her screen. When she'd finished accessing every server at the Institute, she stared at the computer and bit her lip.
こんなバカなことって。
It is impossible, especially if somebody wants to keep people from accessing the Amadeus system to begin with.
どうした？
ないの。アマデウスのプログラムが記憶データごとどこにも存在していない。
In other words, it seems that Amadeus has essentially served its purpose to some degree. So it's been removed completely from the Brain Science Institute of Waku City. Just like the message from Kurigohan and Kamehameha.
ハッキングしろ！脳科学研究所だけじゃなく、ビクトル・コンドリア大学にあるデータを全部こじ開けてくれ。サーバーから個人の PC まで全部だ。
Find any and all traces of Amadeus whatsoever.
Okie dokie.
This is you'll definitely earn your pay for this one, Daru. I
ピ
can
アジョさんも協
guarantee
力してく
it.
れ。頼む。
ええ。
We need to find Mayuri right away, but the answer was the same. Not only Amadeus Kurisu, but even the Amadeus version of Maho herself were nowhere to be found on the Victochondria servers. There was no trace of them, or the Amadeus system whatsoever. Their very existence had been erased.
どこか別の場所に移されたとか？
Probably.
そんなの無理だわ。アマデウスシステムに関してそんな管理者権限を持ってるのはレスキネン教授だけよ。
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up that fact. Indeed, Alexis Leskinen is the only one with administrator privilege for the Amadeus system. Yeah. It's time to put 2 and 2 together and get something other than 5, Maho Hyajo. Because, as we all know at this point, Leskinen is involved with strategic focus, also known as Stratfor. Indeed, he has been working against us the entire time. From the very start, it seems. Which means that Stratfor are the ones behind the communications blackout. Although I wonder why they were. Well, it would actually be a huge thing if the internet itself would disappear overnight. That would definitely be a cause for incredible attention, and unwanted attention at that. But it seems like As far as Leskinen is concerned, Amadeus has fulfilled his expectations. My mind flashed back to the message from Kurigohan and Kamehameha. I hope we bring that up again, because we missed it the first time. To Salieri's neighbor, it appears that we twins will now be temporarily driven from the place where we belong, so I might not be able to come back here anymore. That is probably referring to the Amadeus sisters, the Amadeus Kurisu and Maho. Our Father in heaven has developed a way to force open our most, I think it's secret something or other. Now we shall become good children, his children who cannot tell lies. So it seems like Leskinen has actually managed to break through the security system that keeps the logs of Amadeus separate from any outside interference. And thus we will be forced to tell him of the secrets of controlling time. Who was this our Father in heaven, whom Amadeus Kurisu had spoken of? You just said his name not 5 seconds ago. If Amadeus considered anyone a father, it would be... And I cannot read the rest, but you get the idea. If you pause the video, you'll all see the message. Indeed he did. It's not an assumption, Maho Hyajo. The man that you revere above all else has been lying to you from the moment you first met. Once upon a time I would have conceded that as a possibility, but the thing about Leskinen is that he is too smart for that. Not without cell phones, unfortunately. The phones weren't working, and there was no way to tell when he'd see an email or if he'd respond. Of course, everything that I've said up until this point would technically be considered spoilers on this particular world line, but I don't care anymore. This is my Let's Play adventure. Maho was thinking hard, and it didn't seem like she was having any luck. We were getting nowhere fast. I was concerned about Mayuri, but I couldn't ignore the danger that was right in front of me. Oh dear. If Leskinen and Stratfor learn about the time machine, they'll head straight for the radio building. And unfortunately for Rintaro, Suzuha Mane and Mayuri Shina are both there at the time machine on the radio building as well. Things are going to hell in a handcart incredibly fast now. But when we return, adventurers, we shall see whether Rintaro will be fast enough to reach the radio building and the time machine before Stratfor does, or whether Worldline Convergence and the machinations of Alexis Leskinen will intervene to change that. As always, until next we meet.